So this, I guess, would be part 2 of my bookish video. I just recorded talking about some of the books that I've read recently, and now I'm going to talk about some of my upcoming reads, hopefully. Got a baby due in about 7 weeks, so we'll see how this goes. Here's my ambitious TBR, which is to be read if you don't watch BookTube or you're not a Instabook kind of person. That's okay. I watch a lot of booktubers whose opinions I really value, and I like seeing what they've read, what they thought, and then what they plan to read. Like everybody else, it doesn't always work out, but it's nice to hear them talk about books that they plan on getting or books that they're excited about, and I thought maybe you guys would want to hear about mine. So every month, or let's be honest, it takes longer than a month for me to read a book a lot of the time. But what I've currently been working on this year is working my way through all the Stephen King books. There's a lot of them. I'm not very far along. All the Nancy Drew books, I collect them and I like to read them as I go. And it's something light, to kind of offset the Stephen King stuff. And then also I've been working my way through Alice Hoffman's books. She's always been my favorite author. Practical Magic has been my favorite book up until this point. So I wanted to read all of her works. So I've been working my way through her stuff as well. And all of these I'm reading in chronological order, or in the case of Alice Hoffman and Stephen King, publication order, from what I've been able to gather. So, hi. My next Stephen King that I plan on reading is The Stand. I think the last one I read was Night Shift or Rage. I can't remember. One of those two was the last one that I read. This is an endeavor, for sure. I haven't started it because I'm very intimidated about the size. Also, being pregnant, I'm very, very sensitive right now, so I've kind of been avoiding Mr. King for a while, just because I don't know if I can handle it right now without being a crying, sloppy mess. So, a lot of people say that this one's their favorite. I don't know much about it other than I saw the TV series when I was very young. I don't remember a lot about that either. I just remember them talking about the super flu and that wiping out the human race and the people left behind having to deal with that and all the things that ensue, and it being a battle of good versus evil and so on and so forth. So, heard good things about it, just haven't started it yet. We'll get to it at some point. So, there's that beast. Next Nancy Drew that I have to read is The Sign of the Twisted Candles, which sounds pretty spooky compared to like The Secret of the Old Clock, The Mystery at Redgate Farm, or The Secret of Red. There's a lot of secrets in these titles. Anyway, it's probably going to be your typical Nancy Drew fare. There's a mystery. She's nosy. She wants to find out what's happening. She drags her poor friends along for it. She gets caught in a precarious situation. Things reveal themselves, and she solves the mystery. Might solve a mystery. Anyway, I'm a little loopy. Next, Alice Hoffman, Fortune's Daughter. I have started this. Seems like she doesn't really do chapters. She just does parts, and I wanted to read the first chapter the other night, and that's like 73 pages in. I made it to page 41. So far, so good, I guess. It seems like a lot of her other books. Very romancy, kind of, but a little bit of a supernatural element, which I like. I'm not really like a full fantasy reader. I kind of like stories that have a supernatural element and you still kind of have one foot in the real world. So we'll see how this goes. The last one was White Horses, and I DNF'd that one. And I didn't like the relationship in the book. If you know about that book, you probably know what I mean. But I didn't care for it. When things started happening, I put the book down, got rid of it. Nope, not for me. So I DNF'd that one. And I'm going to give this one a try, and hopefully it'll be better. So far, going in order, the best book of hers that I've read was Property of, which was the very first one. It had kind of a Grease vibe, but much more adult, a little bit darker, kind of like The Outsiders. If you like The Outsiders, you'd probably like that, but like I said, it's much more adult, and there is darker subject matter. So if you're sensitive, you may not want to check that one out. But that was my favorite of hers so far. All right, now for a fun twist, got my TBR jar, which I haven't updated in a while. You know, I was super good. I wrote all the books I had on little pieces of paper and put them in this jar. And then when I bought books, I would also write them on little pieces of paper and put them in this jar. But somewhere along the way, I stopped doing that. So there's no telling what's in here. And I've also gotten rid of a lot of books that I realized I'll probably never read and sold them to my used bookstore, which is Southern Bound Books. If you're local, give them a follow, check them out. Great bookstore. I'm always getting things from them, and I'm always taking things to them as I decide, you know, this is never going to happen, or my reading taste changes. So, anyway, let's give her a shake. Turn on the juice, see what shakes loose. And pull a wild card to go with these very planned books that I have here. Alright. And I didn't color code. A lot of people that do TBR jars color code, but I just used what I had. Okay. Little piece of paper. Let's see what we got. Okay. We've got Emma. I don't know if you can see that. Emma in the Night, which is right here. I thrifted this one. It's actually a book of the month book. I'd seen a couple of people talking about it. I don't really know much about it. I'll read you the synopsis. One night, 15-year-old Cass and her 17-year-old sister Emma disappear. The family car is found deserted at a nearby beach, but the authorities are baffled by what could have become of them. 3 years later, with just the clothes on her back and no evidence or credibility to back up her claims of what happened, Cass returns home without her sister. Her tale is one of kidnapping and isolation and the mysterious island where the two were held. But Cass's story has holes, and to forensic psychologist Dr. Abby Winter, something about it just doesn't add up. As an expert in narcissistic and personality disorder, Dr. Winter looks deeply into Cass's family to uncover the truth. She looks at the mother, a woman so beautiful on the surface and so damaged and damaging beneath. She looks at the stepfather and stepbrother, each so uniquely troubled and dangerous, and she looks at Cass herself. What she finds will shock those searching for Emma and reveal a twisted story of a deeply dysfunctional family and the lengths to which Cass has gone to bring about redemption. So there you have it. Kidnapping, intrigue, family drama. Should be good, I guess. We'll see if I get to it. This was the September 2017 book of the month. Anyway, so got 3 planned books and a wild card. We'll give those a go and hopefully report back to you on how they were, if I can read them. I have a lot going on, you know, about to be a mom of 3. So I read when I can. Sometimes it takes months. We'll do our best. Anyway, don't know if you noticed, but I put some nerds over here for this video. Did a little decorating. I hope you appreciate little things like that, little touches. It's the kind of quality content we'll bring to you here at Super Geeked. Anyway, I've rambled enough. Here's my book stack. Let me know in the comments what you're reading or what you hope to read. And we'll see you soon. Please give Super Geeked a follow if you haven't already. We appreciate you taking the time to come sit with us and watch these videos. And I hope you have a great day. Bye.